By now, you've likely heard of the case of Levi Axtel, the 27-year-old man from Grand Marais, Minnesota, charged with second-degree murder in the death of 78-year-old Lawrence Scully last week. We now have the criminal complaint and more details. Scully was convicted in 1979 of molesting a 6-year-old girl and spent 2 years in prison. In 2018, Axtel filed a protection order against him for allegedly stalking his 22-month-old daughter. Last Wednesday, Axtel admitted to authorities that he beat Scully to death with a shovel and moose antler. Reading from the criminal complaint's statement of probable cause, quote, at 4:48 p.m. on March 8th, Wednesday, the Cook County Sheriff's Office Dispatch received a call from a citizen reporting that he had just watched someone in a white Dodge Caravan pull into the driveway of the home of 77-year-old Lawrence Scully on East 5th Street in Grand Marais and smash a vehicle, then run into the house. The citizen heard screaming coming from the house. While on the call, approximately a minute later, the citizen told dispatch the driver of the van was leaving toward the law enforcement center, which is approximately 3 blocks from Scully's home. Shortly thereafter, a van drove up into the parking area in front of the law enforcement center, and a man got out and walked into the lobby. The man, later identified as Levi Axtel, put his hands on his head and said that he had murdered Scully with a shovel. He was covered in blood. At 5 p.m., a deputy observed Scully lying in his home with a major head trauma and surrounded by blood. A bloody shovel lay nearby. Scully appeared obviously dead from the serious nature of his head wounds and was confirmed dead. Axtel was arrested immediately upon suspicion of murder. After having been advised of his Miranda rights, he admitted to entering Scully's home and hitting him over the head 15 to 20 times with a spade-style shovel he found on Scully's deck, with the intent to guarantee he would die. He finished him off by hitting his head several times with a large moose antler. Axtel said he had known Scully for a long time and believed him to have sexually offended against children in the past. Axtel said he observed Scully parked his vehicle at locations where children were present and believed he would reoffend. A preliminary report from the medical examiner who examined Scully's body after it was removed from the scene concludes that the cause of his death was blunt force head injuries. Scully also had wounds on his arms that are consistent with defensive wounds, unquote. That was from the statement of probable cause in this case. Axtel has made his initial court appearance. Bail was set at $1 million with conditions. He's scheduled to appear in court again next month. I'm Neil Carlson reporting for iNewZ.TV.